Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another 2 episodes of NWA Power. We are coming off the back of NWA Not Dead Yet, in which we saw the debut of not just Jordan Devlin, but also Samoa Joe, as Devlin teamed with Punishment Martinez and Joe teamed with Chris Brookes. At the end of the night, it was Punishment Martinez and Jordan Devlin that took away the victory over Brookes and Joe, however. We also saw Yuka Sakazaki earn her opportunity at the NWA World Women's Championship by defeating Masha Slamovich in a steel cage. This means that Yuka Sakazaki will get her opportunity at Lexi Cabrera and the NWA World Women's Championship at the next event, which will be NWA Give It All. But before that, we do have these episodes of NWA Power to get through. So without further ado, we will start the show. So this show opens up with our traditional pre-show eye candy match, again because I don't really want to put it on the main show, but this does get a 62, so a really good strong way to start the pre-show. And we did see 4 debuts here in this match. We saw the debut of Taylor Rising, Aisha, Brittany Blake, Ayano Iri and Brandi Lauren, so 5 debuts actually. And it did get a good rating. Brandi Lauren getting the best in the match, getting a huge 67 rating. Markova getting a 64. Brittany Blake a 59. Taylor Rising a 53. Aisha a 50. And Ayano Iri getting a 49. So a good 62 rated eye candy match here. The main show, opens up, however, with Lexi Cabrera and Yuka Sakazaki. It is fully agreed that they will fight each other for the NWA World Women's Championship at NWA Give It All. It will be confirmed next week, as Stephanie McMahon will host a contract signing between both Lexi and Yuka Sakazaki. Our first match of the night sees another match in the NWA American Dream Gauntlet, as Max the Impaler defeats Matt Lee in just over 7 minutes by submission. This means Max does pick up their next 3 points in the gauntlet. It is a good 59 rated match. Max the Impaler getting a 63, Matt Lee getting a 56. So a really good way to continue on with the tournament here. After this, the camera cuts backstage to a limo arriving to the arena. Both Kenzie Page and Stephanie McMahon step out of the limo and they begin to head towards Stephanie McMahon's office. If you recall, a couple of weeks ago, Kenzie Page did ask Stephanie McMahon to help her become the biggest star that the NWA has ever seen. And it does look like Stephanie McMahon is trying her best to help Kenzie Page out here. We then cut to a different part of backstage as Mike Mondo is strutting with his new NWA World Television Championship. But then the former champion, Weber Hatfield, comes out of nowhere and jumps Mike Mondo from behind. He keeps beating him down until security has to drag Weber Hatfield away. But as Weber is being dragged away, the camera focuses in on Mike Mondo, who seems to be smiling at the fact that Weber Hatfield has just beaten him down. Again, there's a little bit of blood coming out of his mouth, but he is smiling at the prospect of being beaten down by Weber Hatfield. We'll then go to Mai Saruga. She says that whilst her time in the NWA hasn't been amazing yet, she hasn't been the most successful signing over the past year, she's ready to take all her opportunities from now on, and she is going to make a real impact here in the NWA, no matter what it takes. And speaking of making an impact, Oddinson and Marsha Roquette, 2 members of Bully Ray's Hit Squad, do defeat Los Tranquillos to become the new NWA United States Tag Team Champions. Again, Bojack is the National Heavyweight Champion, and now Oddinson and Marsha Roquette have become the new United States Tag Team Champions by defeating Los Tranquillos of Tetsuya Naito and Hiromu Takahashi. So it is a huge win here for 2 members of Bully Ray's Hit Squad. But then Bully Ray's Hit Squad looks that they're about to attack Naito and Takahashi. Again, Bojack and Bully Ray have come down to the ring. But then Keith Lee and the Professionals sprint down to the ring to make the save. Again, the Hit Squad clear the ring before Keith Lee and the professionals can get to them. So it does seem like the rivalry between these 6 men is going to continue on, as there will be a collision course between Keith Lee, EC3 and Trevor Murdoch, and Bojack, Marsh Rockett and Oddinson. We'll see how this rivalry progresses over the next few weeks as we make our way to NWA Give It All. After this, we go to an outside broadcast as Robbie E and Breeze have stormed in to the newly renovated Southern 6 Clubhouse. It is just the two of them now as Kerry Morton is no longer here, but the Clubhouse is looking better than ever. Robbie says that what Alex Taylor did was identity theft. He stole the mask of Southern Comfort and he is going to be taking full legal action against Alex Taylor and the Southern 6 unless Alex Taylor gives up the NWA World Junior Heavyweight Championship. Alex Taylor and Silas Mason take a couple of sips of their beer and they just laugh in the face of Robbie E and Breeze and send them packing out of the Southern 6 Clubhouse. Again, they're treated like jokes and they're laughed out the entire clubhouse. But then we go to our second American Dream Gauntlet match of the night, as Spencer Slade picks up another 3 points as he defeats Oliver Carter in 9.5 minutes by pinfall. Again, it was a really good 61 rated match. Both Slade and Carter getting 55 rating, but it does mean that Slade continues his momentum by defeating Oliver Carter here tonight. After this, we go to Dozer backstage in an excellent 79 rated promo. He says that he's facing his biggest challenge in the American Dream Gauntlet yet, as next week he faces Bishop Dyer, a man he's never been able to beat. The former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, a man that he's faced many times over the past few months, but next week he gets one more opportunity to try and beat Bishop Dyer. We then go backstage to Punishment Martinez as he's in the co-GM's office of Corey Graves and Mark Henry. He says that he wants his NWA World Heavyweight Championship opportunity at NWA Give It All. Whilst Graves and Kane agree, Henry says he has a better idea about what to do with Martinez and Chris Brookes at NWA Give It All, but he says that Martinez will have to wait until next week so he can discuss his idea with both Corey Graves and Kane. Hopefully they'll agree with what he has planned. But we then go to our main event of the evening, as in an excellent 82 rated match, Chris Brookes, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, draws with Jordan Devlin, this being Jordan Devlin's singles debut here in the NWA, in about 14 minutes following a double countout. So Chris Brookes isn't able to defeat Jordan Devlin here, but again, it was a really good match, and this may have something to do with what Punishment Martinez has just been saying to Mark Henry and Corey Graves. Maybe Jordan Devlin has something to do with the NWA World Heavyweight Championship match at NWA Give It All. But for now, we'll finish this first taping and we'll see what rating we've got. So this becomes our best rated show of this series so far, as it gets a 78, one better than NWA Not Dead Yet, which got a 77. So it is an excellent rated show. It increased our popularity in 38 regions, and due to the fact that TNA are now a medium-sized promotion, we're not being hampered by the production values anymore, so we are getting these 70 ratings. But for now, I will see you in the second episode of NWA Power. So this second taping kicks off with another pre-show eye candy tag match, as the team of Brandi Loren and Natalia Markova do defeat Aisha and Taylor Rising once again in an excellent 65 rated match. Markova gets a 64, Brandi Loren gets a 70, so a huge rating here. Taylor Rising a 52 and Aisha a 57, so a really strong way to start the pre-show with some really good performances. However, they are in an eye candy match. The main show opens up with Mark Henry in the ring with Corey Graves and Kane. Graves said he's heard Henry's idea and he likes it a lot. Mark Henry then announces that Chris Brookes will defend his NWA World Heavyweight Championship at NWA Give It All, but it will not just be against Punishment Martinez, but it will also be against Jordan Devlin. So the two men that did score the victory over Samoa Joe and Chris Brookes at NWA Not Dead Yet will both receive an opportunity to face Chris Brookes at NWA Give It All with the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship on the line. We then go backstage to Gucci as they're looking on TikTok, scrolling for their phones, looking on Instagram, trying to find a lawyer. Robbie suddenly then puts his phone down and says that he remembers a guy that he can help them. This guy's a Harvard graduate, so he's definitely qualified enough to help them as they pursue legal action against the Southern Six. We'll then have our first match on the main show as the NWA World Tag Team Championships are defended when Wildcard, being Alec Price and Starboy Charlie, defeat Taka Michinoku and Bestia in about 7.5 minutes when Price pins Taka Michinoku. It is their third defense of the NWA World Tag Team Championships, and it's a really good 61 rated match. Taka was off his game, got a 53, Bestia a 59, Starboy a 60, and Alec Price a huge 76 rating. So a really good defense here for Wildcard. We'll then go to another match in the NWA American Dream Gauntlet as Fuego del Sol quickly rolls up Matt Lee in 7.5 minutes to earn another 3 points in the tournament. And it is a big win here for Fuego del Sol. It's unlikely that he'll end up winning the tournament from this point, but it is a good momentum builder for when the tournament has officially came to an end. After this, we have Mike Mondo backstage. He says that Weber Hatfield has been suspended for his attack on Mike Mondo last week. Edith Surreal then comes up. She is Weber Hatfield's manager, and she says that this is exactly what Mondo wanted, to get Weber Hatfield suspended. Mike Mondo says, on the contrary, this isn't what he wanted at all. He'll happily fight Weber Hatfield whenever he's ready. He likes that Weber Hatfield is now showing a more aggressive side, and he likes the challenge in the fight. So when Weber Hatfield is back, he's happy to fight him. We'll then go out to the ring as we see Emi Sakura in the ring. She officially announces that she is going to be retiring from active competition at NWA Give It All. And her final opponent, it will be her protege, Mei Suruga. Obviously, Mei Suruga then comes out to the ring. They embrace, they bow to each other, but it will be Sakura against Suruga in Emi Sakura's final ever wrestling match at NWA Give It All. We'll then go to a decent Wild Brawl match that gets a 48 rating as Bishop Dyer does actually manage to defeat Dozer in about just over 10 minutes with an end of days after a distraction from Ortiz. Again, this isn't as good as the other matches that we've seen them have. Bishop Dyer, or the creative finish for Bishop Dyer was a failure. That's probably why it wasn't as good. That's why it only gets a 48. But there is some good performances here. Dozer gets a 70. Bishop Dyer gets a 64. But it is Bishop Dyer that picks up the 3 points here. And he leapfrogs over Dozer to become the leader of the NWA American Dream Gauntlet. We'll then have Ortiz. He says he did what he had to do to protect his chances in the American Dream Gauntlet. Dozer was beginning to run away with it. He hadn't lost yet. He really does respect Dozer and what he's done in the Gauntlet, but it's every man for himself. Ortiz wants to win, and if that means he has to cost Dozer a few matches, then so be it. We'll then go to Bully Ray backstage with the Hit Squad. Bully says that his boys, being Bojack, Marshall, Kent, and Odinson, are ready to fight whenever Keith Lee and his has-beens are ready for them. He says that they'll send all 3 of them back to the retirement home where they belong. They'll send them all back to their future endeavours. We'll then go to our main event match of the night, as in an excellent 79 rated match. Chris Brookes and Mei Suruga do manage to defeat Jordan Devlin and Masha Slamovich when Yuka Sakazaki pins Masha Slamovich. Again, it is a really good match here. 3 people getting 80 or over. Jordan Devlin, unfortunately, getting a 69, but still quite a good performance for the weakest person in the match. Yuka and Brooks both getting 81. Masha Slamovich getting a 80, but a huge 79 rated match here to finish the matches for this show. But the night is not quite over yet as Stephanie McMahon comes out to the ring with Lexi Cabrera and the contract for Lexi and Yuka for NWA Give It All. She has both Lexi and Yuka sign the contract, but but asks both women if they actually read the fine print. And out of nowhere, Kenzie Page attacks from behind. She grabs the NWA World Women's Championship and hits both women with the belt. Stephanie says that she's made a last-minute alteration that the women clearly haven't read in their contract, as Lexi will now be defending her NWA World Women's Championship not only against Yuka Sakazaki, but also Kenzie Page in a full metal mayhem match at NWA Give It All. So it will be Lexi, Yuka, and Kenzie in NWA Give It All with the NWA World Women's Championship on the line. So this show gets a 75 rating, again, not as good as the last one, but still an excellent 75 rated show. Again, really good ratings now since TNA have grown to medium. But we will now finish the show. We'll see how much popularity we've gained and if we've made any money. So there was no injuries, so we'll look at our financial report. We did lose about $24,000 on the show, which is completely fine. Again, workers were very high. Ticket sales, again, 21,000, really good. Broadcast revenue being 11,000 is great as well. But those workers being 54,000 were extremely high. We'll now see how much popularity we may have gained. And we've gained in quite a few areas. In Canada, first of all, going up to a 30. In England, going up to a 32 and a 41. And then in Kansai, going up to a 30 as well. Everywhere else, there has been gains, but we haven't actually gone up in any popularity points. But for now, I will finish the show here. We do have another 2 tapings of NWA Power to go before NWA Give It All. So we'll have to see what happens on those 2 shows before we get to the pay-per-view. But thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification icon so you get notified about any upload. And I will see you at the next episode of NWA Power.